One down, a lot to go. Here's where we're at so far, maybe 5 feet down. I have to go another couple layers high even. It's gonna be a slow process. I get why man invented square bricks and cinder blocks. It makes stacking easy. These have a lot of weird angles on them, so they're really hard to get a flat surface. They're really hard to get connected together. Luckily, this wall doesn't have to be watertight. There's not a ton of water coming in behind it, so I don't have to worry about stuff coming through the face of it. But even then, just to get it to the point where it feels sturdy when you're on top of it without trying to use a lot of shim stones, because I've recently read and learned that those can wiggle out over time. So I'm trying just to stack the rocks themselves in a way that the weight holds them. It's tough going, so a little bit down, a lot to go. I'm gonna need more rocks. I have a bunch in my queue, but it's not gonna be enough to get the job done, so I'm gonna have to go over that away to pull a whole bunch of rocks. At least I'll have a big back at the end of the day. This is it. This is what I got done for day one here. Day one, almost 80% out of rocks now. I probably have 20% of the rocks left. This is as far as I got. I'm probably only about 10% of the way done with the total job, so there's a lot more work in here. But I think at least if I get this first layer built, I can start laying out the beds. As good as I can do, it's just gonna take time. Do the work over time, and that's okay. So day one is in the books. I'll keep you updated on how this progresses. This is probably gonna progress over weeks, maybe even months versus days. You know, projects like this are ones that, you know, I didn't plan on taking on today. I wanted just to get up here, lay out the permanent beds. I actually have tomatoes sitting over there ready to go into these beds, but the tomatoes are gonna end up chicken food, and I'm gonna have to finish this project first because I don't wanna put anything up here till I can get permanent beds established, and I've realized I can't do that until this here wall is done. So trying to crank it out as fast as I can, but it's not gonna go quickly. It's now been a few days and I've exhausted my rock supply. I've built this wall up as far as I can build it with the rocks I currently have on hand now. So right now the project's at a standstill. I have to harvest more rocks locally, which isn't a problem, but that's gonna take time. And then I have to build this wall, and that's gonna take time because I'm probably at the most, maybe 20% of the way done. I need to go a lot further down that way and probably another layer up, and I just don't have the rocks to do it, so I'm gonna have to pull them and build at the same time. That's gonna take a lot of time, and that's creating some trickle down effects. That time that this is gonna take to do, I gotta decide what am I gonna do with this whole area up here in the meantime. So I really have a couple of choices in terms of what do I do with this area here. I mean, the first thing I can do is just start offsetting off where this wall is going to be and building out the permanent beds. But that's an issue because I need to backfill behind this wall. I have a slope, so I don't really want to do that. I can just let this area sit. Now that's a possibility, but I need the land. I have tomatoes and other crops that I got to get into the ground here, or I have to accept that I'm going to sacrifice those crops, or I can just offset and just do the back rows and not do the front ones. So I'm not quite sure where I'm at, but this is one of those situations where sometimes life gets in the way to complicate things, and this is a situation where life got in the way, and I'm gonna have to figure out what do I do next. But nonetheless, progress is being made. The next step, I'll figure it out. I'll make a video on that. But sometimes it just is not as easy and it doesn't all go as planned, but that's okay. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.